Good morning, student. Welcome back. I hope you have completed your assignment sheet which was given in the last class. And I hope you haven't faced any difficulties. Few questions are related to the part which we are going to discuss right now. Now, in the last class, we have started with animal tissue, and I have told you that we are going to start with the easiest one which you have already studied, that is your nervous tissue made up of nerve cell neuron. Now the next one which we are going to study is connective tissue. As the word says, connective tissue means it is going to join the things. Now for your information, what all things are there which join one part to the other part? One, you will see the entire body is made up of bone and cartilage. So this is one of the joining tissue. Other than this, a bone is joined to the other bone with the help of a bone is joined to another bone, and a bone is joined to muscle with the help of tendon and ligament. This also you have studied. All the parts of the body are interconnected with each other with the help of a liquid which we call as blood. And in the previous class, in class 8, you have studied that there is one more fluid which works along with blood. I told you it is the WBCs which come out of the capillaries, and they walk parallel to the blood vessels. They form their separate vessels and walk parallel with the blood and is known as lymph. So now, if we talk in class 9th, we are going to bifurcate all these which you have studied under separate heading. So connective tissue can be of 4 types. One is areolar, fibrous, supportive, fluid. Main function is to bind one another, making a supporting framework and forming protective sheet. That is the work of connective tissue. Now first is areolar. What is the function of the areolar tissue? It is simply there to connect the skin, the upper layer of the skin, with the below layer, that is with the muscle cells. That is the areolar connective tissue. Since it is connecting the skin with the bottom layers, then it is having all blood vessels, all nerve cells, everything is present over there, and it is elastic in nature, because if you see, your skin can be stretched and it comes back to its original position. So it is elastic in nature. This is areolar. Only one function is to connect the skin with the bottom layer. It is just like connecting 2 bricks with the help of cement. So connecting the skin with the bottom layers is done by the areolar tissue. Now we have fibrous connective tissue. Under this we have 3 things. One is tendon, other is ligament. Tendons connect muscle with bone, and ligament connects bone to another bone. Ligament is bone to other bone. Right? This we have already studied in previous classes. So that comes under fibrous connective tissue. Another third fibrous connective tissue is adipose tissue, which we call as fat tissue. They are present between present around almost all delicate organs to protect the delicate organs from your shock. They are shock absorbing. They form a fatty layer around under the skin, so that the heat is retained in your body. So that is the basic function of adipose tissue. What is the function of adipose tissue? Number 1 is insulation, retaining the body heat, and number 2 is protecting the internal organs. Then we have supportive tissue. So in supportive tissue we have, under this heading supportive tissue, we have bone and cartilage. Right? Bone forms a network, a framework, a skeleton, a framework on which your body, the structure of your body depends on that skeletal framework. This bone is very rigid. They are rigid and fiber-like structure. They are formed of bone cells which are called as osteocytes. What are they called? They are called as osteocytes. bone cells. Osteocytes are nothing but they are bone cells. These bone cells are star shaped. What is the shape? They are actually a rough star shaped structure, and each cell is enclosed in a small cavity. They are enclosed in a small cavity like structure which is called as lacuna. This structure is called as lacuna. They have all the supply of nerves, of blood vessels, everything, and are basically made up of inorganic salts like calcium and phosphorus. Calcium, magnesium and phosphorus. They are very, very rigid. So what have we studied? Bone cells are called as osteocytes. They lie between a cavity, a hollow cavity which is called as lacuna, and they are star-shaped structure. You know, bone cells are formed, basically blood cells are formed in the bone marrow. So this bone, some bones are hollow, some may not be hollow, but basically they are very, very rigid structure. Then comes cartilage, where bones are very rigid structure. If everywhere we are going to have bone, there are parts which are flexible, need to be flexible, and they should not break very easily. Those parts are made up of cartilage, like your nasal septum, the part in between the two nostrils, the nasal septum. Your ear, that is made up of cartilage. Apart from this, between two vertebrae, we have a layer of cartilage. Between every two vertebrae, we have a layer of cartilage so that they can be protected from shock and injury. Cartilage also act as a shock absorber. Then we come to blood. This is the fluid connective tissue. You know, blood is made up of two parts. One is the plasma and other one is the blood cells. Among these blood cells, we have what all we have? We have RBCs, red blood cells, WBCs and platelets that are we have studied the name erythrocytes, lymphocytes, leukocytes and your thrombocytes. RBC basically responsible for carrying oxygen, having hemoglobin, forming oxyhemoglobin, carrying oxygen. WBC are generally the fighting cells of the body. They fight against diseases. And platelets, platelets are basically responsible for stopping blood flow outside the body by forming a mesh-like structure. So these are the parts of the blood. They are the connective tissue, fluid connective tissue. If we remove all the things except for WBC and bit of plasma along with some salt, that is called as lymph, which moves out of the capillaries. They run parallel and are called as is called as lymph. Since it is made up of WBC, main function of lymph is to protect the body. As it is running parallel with the blood vessels within the tissue, so it is also called, lymph is also called the tissue fluid. What all we have studied? We have studied the connective tissue, which has areolar, fibrous, supportive and fluid. Connective tissue, areolar simply connects our skin to the underlying parts. Skin to underlying parts. Then we have fibrous, which is having tendon, ligament and adipose, that is the fat tissue. Supportive, we have bone and cartilage. And fluid, we have blood and lymph. Next, we are going to study the muscle, or you can say muscular tissue, right? The muscular tissue can be of three kinds, that is striated muscles, unstriated muscles and cardiac muscles. We call it as muscular tissue. They are of three kinds: striated, unstriated and cardiac. Striated, unstriated and cardiac. Striated muscles means they are the skeletal muscle. They are also called as skeletal. They are called as voluntary. Skeletal means which are present in our hands, in our legs. Voluntary means these are under our control. And when we are calling it as striated, that means they are striped, and these stripes can be easily seen. These stripes are made up of special proteins which are called as myofibrils. Right? These striations are not seen under these in this unstriated muscles. So they are called as smooth muscles and involuntary muscles. Right? Smooth muscles and involuntary muscles. Involuntary means they are not under our control, and smooth means these striations are not seen properly, clearly visible in this muscular tissue. Cardiac, the heart muscles are placed in separate group because they look like striated but work as unstriated. Look wise they having striations but work like unstriated muscles, that are they are involuntary, they are not under our control. So they are called as your cardiac tissue is present only in the heart and in a separate group because they look like striated muscles, look like voluntary muscles and work involuntarily. So they are under your a separate group. Finally, now we have the nerve tissues. We have studied the nerve tissue, we have studied the muscular tissue, we have connected all body parts. Now what is left is the small parts like protection, absorption, respiration, sensory function. All these are done by epithelial tissue. What are they done by? So the epithelial tissues, all the parts are, apart from this, all the parts are filled with epithelial tissue. The first one is, there are 4 kinds: squamous, cuboidal, cuboidal, columnar, stratified. As the name suggests, the name tells what kind of epithelial tissues are there. Apart from these, all these tissues can be ciliated, that is, cilia can be present or cannot be present. Can be present, cilia can be present, cannot be present. Okay, so it could be columnar ciliated, cuboidal ciliated, squamous ciliated, right? Cannot be present. It can be, cilia can be or cannot be present. As the word says, squamous means to squeeze. So they are flattened, they are made up of flattened follicular cells which are closely fitted because they are squeezed. So they are closely fitted and are found in almost all the places like Bowman's capsule, nasal cavities, alveoli. General work is to protect our body from entry of germs and drying up. Then the cuboidal cells, these are cuboid. They are a cuboid. You know the structure of a cuboid? You know a structure of a cuboid. So they are cuboidal cells, right? They are in form of cubes and they are they are taller and is found in the stomach, intestine. These cuboidal are found in sweat glands, kidney tubules, all everywhere. They are cuboid. Then columnar epithelium. Columnar epithelium means they are in form of columns like this, parallel to each other, one another, column-like structures. They are long enough, so they are generally found in the lining of stomach and intestine. This columnar epithelium has one more special kind of epithelial cells which are called as glandular epithelium. Glandular epithelium means the glands are made up of these epithelium. But since I am telling you they are found in the digestive system, so they consist of glands in the digestive system. Those glands are made up of glandular epithelium. Then we come to the columnar stratified. Now stratified means layers, strata. You have studied in geography, stratas of the earth. So layers. So these are layered like in your skin. The cells are present in layers like in your skin. So they are called as stratified epithelial tissue. Basic function of all these, because they are present everywhere, some help in protection of your body by preventing the entry of germs. The columnar epithelium present in the intestine and your stomach helps in absorption, helps in digestion. in respiration, everywhere. Then the glands are present, which helps in sense organs to work. They are sensory in nature, so they have multiple function, right? So with this we are closing down. I have completed almost every part of the chapter. If anything is missing, you can put on your query in the portal and I will surely get back to you. Have a nice day. Good day.